Namaste, good morning. On this beautiful day. I'm really happy to connect to all of you this morning, and I would like to invite Denise to send me a message to let me know that you're receiving me loud and clear, and that if the sound isn't sufficient, let me know so I will put on my headphones to help you to hear me better. We're almost about to start with an introduction about Ayurveda and Ayurvedic yoga therapy. And Denise joined, so thank you. Thank you so much, Denise. I see that you're there. So today I'm going to speak with you about the foundation of Ayurveda and how this can help all of you, no matter whether you're just starting or whether you're adept in Ayurveda, to get a deeper understanding of how this can help you in your daily life and in your community. So let's take just a few minutes, because we were about to start at 11 o'clock, for everybody to sit down and to get settled, for me to get settled, and to get all the technology working. And then we get going. Yeah, a few minutes. Okay, here we go. I'll start with an introduction mantra. Satoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoramritam Gamaya Asatoma Satgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityoram ritam gamaya Om Asato ma satgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityoram ritam gamaya Put your hands on your heart, left hand first, right hand on top of that. And bow your head towards your heart to listen. Then breathe in with great respect and love. I honor my heart, my inner teacher. Namaste. Pausing to feel how the words touch you. With great respect and love, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. Namaste. Good morning. Denise, can you hear me well? Let me know. So, today is a really special day. Today, hundreds of thousands of women are marching in the United States. They are united as one big roar. Uniting for equality, for unity, that everybody is loved and everybody is seen. Everybody is acknowledged, no matter what your color, no matter what your beliefs are, and no matter whether you are gay, lesbian, transgender. And this is really big. You can feel it. You can feel it here happening in San Francisco. And how delighted all women are that they are able to express themselves and that they can stand up and roar to protect goodness. So this is like innate within of us. We long to protect goodness. We long to protect the qualities that make us thrive in life. And this is very much what is the foundation of Ayurveda. Ayurveda, which means the science of life, is about learning how you can protect and nourish, water all those good qualities in life to support you, to lift you, to nourish you, to help you to grow, to evolve as a human being, as a spiritual human being. So that your body, your mind, your incredible mind, and your heart are all aligned with the deeper goals of life. The deeper goals of life that are just longing to be fulfilled. That is what Ayurveda is about. And one of our deepest goals, our deepest longings in life is to love and to feel loved. In Sanskrit, that is called kama. Yeah. Another deep goal in life that we're longing to fulfill is that we're successful financially and that we are able to secure a safe place for ourselves and our families, a home. That is called artha. A third goal there is in life, according to Ayurveda and yoga, is how can we, with the unique gifts that we have, that we imbibe personally, serve in this world, how can we make our lives matter? What is the footprint that we leave behind after we leave our bodies? What can we do? How can we serve in a way where we're giving ourselves without hesitation, without the need of needing something back for that? That is called dharma. So this trinity of longing to love and to feel loved, longing to find stability financially, security for the family and ourselves, and the longing to serve within the community for the benefit of all, so that everybody may be happy and that we're all free from suffering. Those three goals are incredibly important to give meaning to your life. And it is important to be conscious of that, because how do you know where you're going or what you're supposed to do with your life if you don't know who you are and where you're at this moment? How do you know where to go or what to do with your life if you don't know who you are or where you're at in your life? Yeah. So those are crucial life questions. And the science of Ayurveda and the science of yoga, the philosophy, gives you a roadmap for your daily lifestyle. How to live that from your heart, from your gut. Connected, deeply connected. So that you spend your time while you're here in your body wisely. and with purpose, and that you are able to make choices that support those three venues that I was talking about. To feel loved and to love, to be financially secure and stable, and to serve in the world with your unique gifts without the need to want something back for it. Because in the end of the whole journey, of your life journey, if you ask people what is really of importance, what was of importance in your life, do you think they're talking about their degrees they got and about how much money they made, about their success? No. If you ask a crone, an old wise woman or a man, no, they will talk about how they were able to love others, how they were able to hold integrity, how they were able to deeply enjoy life, the essence of life, how they were able to touch others and be touched, how they were able to share, how they were able to be with their community, with their tribe, with their family, their friends, with those who matter to them. Yeah, that's the legacy, that's the footprint. So I would like you all to take a moment to consider, to think about that. Because I've been invited to speak here for a community in Portland. And I was really deeply touched when I asked Denise, well, why did you invite me? Why would you like me to speak here? And she said, well, I just moved half a year ago. And I made an incredible life shift. I left behind my practice there, being a counselor. And I moved from Houston to Portland. Well, that's quite a shift. And I'm looking to connect to community. I'm looking to share. I'm looking to come together and to see what is longing to organically grow here, to evolve here. How can I support community? How can I connect here? Yeah. So that really got me going and inspired me to share this with you. So if you look at the foundation of Ayurveda and you look at those life areas, as I talked about, that we're longing to fulfill, there are three energies in our lives, within our body and within nature, within everything around us, that make up our physiology and that make up our mental state. And they are in a continuous dance with each other. It are like three threads of a braid that are continuously being woven together. And at some times during the day, one of those forces or energies are more prevalent, and at other moments of the day or in the season, others are more prevalent. So as a human being, we are in this continuous flow, in this continuous energy patterns and waves. And what we're seeking Ayurvedically is to be aligned with the energies of nature. Because anything that is happening in nature is also happening within our body. And And when we learn to align ourselves with everything that's happening in nature, our bodies become stronger. And we learn to listen better to what our bodies in the very moment need, what our minds need, and what our hearts need to support us as a spiritual being within our family lives, within establishing financial safety, within feeling loved and sharing love, within finding purpose in your life or your dharma. Yeah. So it's essential that you are moving with the waves of nature and that you learn how to tweak and how to adapt with those waves when you get off track. So those three energies are called doshas: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And you can forget about those words. It's not important to understand the Sanskrit for that. It's important that you learn to relate to those energies as living principles, currents that are happening within your body-mind and that are happening in nature. That you become friends with it. So those three currents, those three energies represent three movements. Vata represents the movements within your body and your mind, your thoughts, the movement of feeling your feelings, the currents of sensations within your nervous system, the movement of your elimination, the movement of your blood circulation, of your lymphatic, anything that has to do with movement, the movement of your breath. So too much movement will aggravate your nervous system. Too little movement will make it feel stuck, like you can't breathe, or you can't move, or there's pain in the body. Yeah? Pitta is the energy of fire, is the energy of transformation, is the energy of the sun. So whenever you want to shift in your life and you want to see clearly, what is my next step? What am I supposed to do? You first need to have clarity so you can discriminate well. And the energy of fire is giving you that clear vision in your life, where to go. The energy of fire is giving you the heat to transform all the beautiful foods that you're taking to support your physical body. The energy of fire is also giving you the heat to process all your thoughts, to learn, to process your emotions. So when there's no heat, you can't process. Yeah. So Agni, as it is called, is incredibly important to stay alive and to support you in staying healthy. Yeah. The third energy of Kapha has a lot to do with being the glue of everything in your life. It holds everything together. Kapha is earth. Kapha is the sensation of water and earth becoming smooth, stable, heavy, grounded. And we so much need that within the current lifestyle that we see that many of the people that I counsel are living, which is a lifestyle that is very fast, with a lot of movement, literally flying a lot, traveling a lot, working long hours, being in the car for many hours, talking a lot, being exposed to a lot of stimulation, which is all aggravating that vata dosha, aggravating that sense of movement, aggravating your nervous system. So when we have like the right mixture of those three energies within our body present, we're stable, we're thriving, we're full of energy, we're able to love and to receive love. We're able to take the right decisions in our life. We're able to eat the right foods. We make the right choices for food. We're able to digest them. We're able to study, to learn. We're able to conceive, to have children. We feel happy, and there is an overall sense of well-being on all levels, not only physically, but also emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, as a spiritual being, that you feel deeply, deeply connected to your soul, to your inner self. So that is at the core why I live from those principles. Yeah. And maybe if you allow me, I will tell you what motivated me. If Denise, you would like me to do that, what motivated me to started studying and practicing Ayurveda. Yeah. What motivates somebody to make a shift in their lives. Yeah. So the thing that motivated me a long time ago was when I was in my 20s and I was a pediatric intensive care nurse. And I was making long hours, very irregular shifts. I was working about 7 nights per month in night shifts with 12-hour shifts. And I was working in a highly stressed environment. I would see approximately 3 children die per week. And it required everything from my physical, mental, and emotional being to be able to deal with that. And it is not without reason that when you look in a hospital at an intensive care, that the average age of nurses is 25, 30 years old. There are very little nurses who still work full-time when they're in their 50s or their 60s, because it's taxing on not only your physical body, but also emotionally. So by the time that I was 24, or 23 I should say, I had encountered already a tremendous amount of loss, seeing so many people, especially parents, dealing with very sick children. And I felt very dedicated in supporting them and giving them that love, that kapha that you need so much to hold yourself together when you're going through something that you are barely able to go through. Yeah. So that was a natural given for me. And while I was doing that, and while I was loving the work I was doing, working with the parents and working with the children, my own father got very sick. And it turned out that he had stomach cancer, and it was metastasized everywhere, so there was very little that could be done. He was only 62, and when he got the news, he had one wish. And I said, anything you wish for, I will do for you. And my father asked me, please take care of me at home, so I can take my last breath here at home. That's my last wish. So that's what I did, together with my mom. I took care of him, I washed him, I fed him, I nurtured him, we sang for him, we read from the Bible from him, for him. And he left his body in a safe haven in the arms of my mom and me, both on his side, ready to transition, completed his journey. And while this all happened, I had profound experiences of spirit, where I could deeply see with a clear vision the deeper meaning of my life. And when I completed this journey with my father, there was no way I could go back to the life as it used to be. It changed everything. So from that moment on, I felt within my heart, and I wasn't able at that time to give words to it, but I felt there was a bigger purpose to my life, and I felt I had to do something with that. So I made big choices. And I can tell you, if somebody that's very near to you dies, it changes your whole perspective on life. And it changes your priorities. You start thinking about, well, what is actually really important? So I feel truly blessed that being that young, I already got that chance, and that I was able to guide my dad in such a sacred part of his life, and to be given the opportunity to look at my own life. Where am I at? What am I doing? What do I want to do with my life? And how do I get there? So that's when I saw that for me, leading the lifestyle that I had been leading up till then, with very irregular shifts, deprived from sleep, not so good food, no emotional support in a hospital, because, you know, the tendency by then in the hospital from the nurses and the doctors was to basically to stuff away your feelings. And when a child would die, you literally would stick your head in a cupboard where you would prepare the medication for the children so nobody could see you cry. And you cried your eyes out, and then you dried them, and then 5 minutes later you said, on to the next one. Which is, of course, I understand now, very unhealthy. And to not give space to what you feel, to not being acknowledged for your feelings. Yeah, that at some point translates also physically in how you're feeling. Yeah, in your energy. So it did with me. I got my warning signs. And I said, I can't live like this anymore. I can't do this. Not after I took care with so much love and dedication for my dad. And I was able to hand him over to the angels. Yeah, being held by the Divine Mother and the Father. I want to do this differently. So I committed myself to Ayurveda first, and I started reading, and it resonated so deeply with me. Like, this is it. This is the missing link. This is the heart. So I learned and I experienced deeply from the heart how you can't get there only with your head. And we're so used to do everything with our head and to put it full with all kind of knowledge. But eventually, to fully live, not only here, but to fully live and to fully thrive and enjoy your life, you also need to be here. And you need to be there. Yeah. So that's what Ayurveda and yoga taught me. How to do that. And that's what I would love to share with you. Because I know it will help you to deepen your life quality. Deepen your life quality in every area of your life you can imagine. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Yeah. So is there at this point anybody who would like to ask a question or to comment? You can type in your questions and I will read them out loud for everybody who has joined now or is still joining later on as this is being recorded. Denise, go ahead if you have a question or if anybody of your guests has a question. So, if no question yet is coming, that's fine. Then I'll continue a little bit. So, when I come back to what is really, really important, and especially today. Okay, there is a question coming. There are two questions coming. Okay, let me see. Denise, how would you suggest that others experiencing professional burnout make the transition toward health, especially when the environment is toxic, but the options are limited or none in changing their profession? That's a very good question. How can you as a professional, as a health professional, make a transition towards health? Especially when the environment is toxic, but the options are limited. Well, the first answer that comes to me is you cannot always change the environment, but you can change your response or your reaction to the environment. So the way that Ayurveda and yoga help you to deal with challenging life circumstances is to teach you that there's basically only one anchor in your life that will never leave you and that is never going to change. There's one anchor. But you need to invest time in it. You need to sit with it and you need to cultivate a relationship with that. Yeah. And it is from the cultivation of having your moments with yourself. So this early morning I already was teaching this to a 5-year-old. And I told Charlotte, how would you like to have your special moment every day with your mom? Where nothing is needed, nothing is wanted, and where you can be fully yourself. And where both your mom and you can work on the bucket list of the things that you both love to do, the things that make you really smile and happy and that deeply relax you. Yeah. How would you like that? Yeah. So she loved that idea. So it's not necessarily that you want to push anybody to sit still and to meditate and to look at all the difficulty of life, but to cultivate the opposite. In yoga, that's called pratipakshibhavana. Very difficult word, but that's the yoga philosophy of Patanjali, who is kind of the philosopher for yoga. And turning things around, or pratipakshibhavana, is a core principle of moving away of anything, slowly, anything, in your lifestyle that is making you feel depleted, not wanted, not wished, not loved, not supported, anything that is a no. And to move towards a lifestyle that makes you feel loved, that makes you feel energized and open, that makes you feel happy and joyful, content, motivated, thriving. Yeah. So in Ayurveda and yoga, we say that this is a practice. This is a life practice, a lifestyle practice. It's not just one single day that you do per day, but you have to start somewhere. Yeah. So with your child, you can start with daily creating a moment where you sit down, where you teach your child that it's important to sit down and to do nothing, where you share with your child what was important for you today, where you're going to look as an adult at yourself. What's up today? So that's the first question that you're going to ask yourself every day. What's up today? And to contemplate, to look at yourself. How am I doing physically? How am I doing emotionally? And how am I doing mentally? To observe and to give words to that, either by journaling or by sharing with your child or sharing with your partner, from an attitude of great respect and love. Yeah, because nobody's helped by criticism or by harsh words. Nobody has ever learned from that. Yeah. So first of all, it's becoming aware in the very moment. Where am I at? How am I doing? And to daily take time for that, to tune in with yourself. Yeah. And to give space for that, for your child to do that. To ask them, how was your day? Tell me. And not to try to direct it or to avoid anything. Just to allow them to be organic. That's step one. To have a tune-in moment with yourself every day. Then from that, you can very slowly start to build that anchor. Yeah? That moment where you are truly connected with your heart, with the deepest longing of your heart. Yeah? And bit by bit, very slowly, to add on those things that will help you to strengthen that anchor. Yeah? That will help you to stay energized. That will help you to recover. Yeah? That will help you to feel loved. So it's not without reason that the title that I put in for this video talk is about sharing, about support, and about self-care. Yeah. So it starts very much about learning to look at yourself with love, with compassion, and to look at the bucket list of the things that are inappropriate or not elevating in your lifestyle, and to learn to name them, to acknowledge them, and to look at the bucket list of the things in your life that are supporting you, that are elevating you. And then to very, very slowly start to tweak that balance, bit by bit, gently and slowly. Yeah. So that doesn't mean when you can't change your profession that you can change the situation. There's always a yes and a no. You always have the option for a yes and a no. And it might sometimes, when you think that you don't have that option, think of it this way. Imagine that you're really sick and you no longer have all the options of going out for all kind of adventures, and you're very limited and you only have a few months to live. Now look again at your bucket list, at the purpose of your life. Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? Yeah? Question that regularly so that you learn to gently wash, polish the gem of your heart and the gem of the purity of your soul, so that you keep on looking clearly at what it is in this moment within your daily life that is longing to be fulfilled, that is longing to be nourished. Yeah? So if you can't throw out things, then see, what can I nourish? That would be on the most basic level, be what you're doing. Is that helpful, Denise? Denise, another question. How does building a community help one practice Ayurveda? For anything to stick, you need kapha. Kapha is the quality, the energy in life that binds everything, that keeps everything together. If we don't have that binding quality in life, then everything is fleeting. Then you won't have clients that stick with you. Then you won't have your neighbors and your friends who come in the morning, as my neighbor is joining me here, and I've been missing them greatly because they moved out last week, to still make an effort to connect and to share hearts and to share love. It is essential in life that you feel that there is a sense of loyalty and that there's a sense of we want to step up and we want to put our energy into that which is really important for us. Yeah. So when you do that consistently, yeah, and you keep on doing it, you keep on sending out the same message like, I'm here, I'm available, this is what I'm good at, this is how I love to support my community, then people can relax. People can relax and they feel I can be at home. I can be myself there. Yeah, that's how you build with Ayurveda. Okay, question from Casper from the Netherlands. Good evening there, Casper. So I will read out this question. To allow time for oneself to contemplate and to tune in, you need to make a conscious choice, yes. It seems that in times of stress it is more difficult to find this time, which is paradoxal. It has to do with daring to say no to something or someone, especially when this concerns family, friends, and this feels difficult. I tend to postpone my longing for this inner peace or this inner silence moment, for being there for others. This is a very good point, Casper. Thank you for naming this. So we all want to help others, yeah? But there's this one saying, when you're in a flight with your child, and the flight attendant is explaining the rules for when we're going to crash, and she's explaining to you the rule about the oxygen mask, what is she telling you? You first put the oxygen mask on your own face. Then only you put it on the face of your child. Because if you are suffocating, how could you help your child? So it's the same thing in any life situation. If you are depleted, if you are having a breakdown, but you're not taking care of it, if you are getting sick, how can you take care of your family? How can you take care of your mom, your dad? How can you take care and give your beautiful energy and share that with your friends or your students or your clients? You can't. So I'll give you a very practical example. Yeah. The older that you get, the less you can get away with denying yourself self-care. Yeah. When you're just early 20s, you can do anything and you can get over anything. You can work full days, party in the evening, sleep 2 hours, and do that all over again the next day. Done it, been there. Yeah. But as I'm joyfully turning 54 this week, unfortunately, I can't anymore. Yeah. But as you can see, I'm still thriving and I'm still very energetic. But that is only due to the fact that the first choice that I make for self-preservation and in order to be able to serve anybody else is always to take care of myself. Every single day. It's how I start and it's how I finish my day. Yeah. That is the most important thing. It's my anchor. If I don't do that, I'm lost. And believe me, I've been on the edge several times. I've pushed it several times. And sometimes we need to push ourselves in order to say, I went too far. I need to hold back next time. I can't do this. Yes, thank you. January 24th. Yeah, magic number 54. So I've learned that I have to walk my talk. And I've learned there's always somebody who's sick. There's always somebody who needs me. There's always going to be stress in life. There's always going to be some kind of a challenge. Yeah. This is just what life is. Yet, life is also beautiful, is also inspiring, is also very nurturing. But you can't become a leaky bucket. So, in order to be able to share all your goodies and to support, you need to make sure that you learn how to do self-care. You need to learn how to prevent yourself from being run down, from being exhausted, from getting sick. And that requires some discipline. It requires discipline to do self-care. It requires discipline to choose for yourself. And that's not egotistic. It is loving yourself. It is being compassionate towards yourself. It is being truthful to yourself. And whenever you are truthful to yourself, your stress level will go down and your adrenals are going to be happy. They will relax. Whenever you're trying to hang in with your fingernails continuously for a prolonged time, you are looking at developing adrenal fatigue. You're looking at developing an autoimmune disease. You're looking at developing chronic fatigue. You're looking at developing any serious illness. Yeah? Yes, Denise. So you said, I love that you said become friends with it regarding getting to know your dosha and how to balance it. Yeah. So I like to elaborate a little bit on that because I often hear this from my friends and my clients that they say, I hate it that I'm this way or that way. I don't like this about myself. Well, then my question to them is it helping you that you hate it? Is it helping you? And then, of course, they say, no, it's not helping me. It's actually making me contract more. So the first step to well-being on all levels for your body, for your heart and your mind is to accept who you are. To accept that beautiful body, that beautiful mind, and that beautiful heart that was given at birth. To accept it and say, thank you, God. Thank you for giving me this beautiful vessel to work with in this life. And let me make friends with it. Let me see how can I nurture this body-mind the best. Yeah? How can I support it the best so that I can inspire myself and get to know all my unique gifts and with those gifts I can serve in the world. I can inspire others. When I am connected to my light, and imagine that light to be a candle within your heart, when that is lit, then you will become a light for others. But when through all the yucky stuff that you keep on repeating in your mind, all the yucky stuff that's happening in your life, and you keep on rechewing that, and you're stuck in that, like, I have the wrong job, I have the wrong partner, I have the wrong life, I have the wrong dosha, I have the wrong this and that, is that going to serve you? Yeah. So that's turning around the attitude of your mind and saying, well, what is actually going to help me? To look at what is beautiful about myself, what I really love about myself, and how can I nurture that? Yeah? No flower is going to grow when you're not watering it. Yeah? Okay. Let me go back because there's a lot of comments coming. Jennifer from Florida. Nice. Thank you for joining. And Jennifer's saying, for the first time ever I had a gallbladder attack. Oh boy. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I've been sick all week. What is the solution for that? What is the Ayurvedic solution for that? Yes, there's a solution, but that's not one step. And it depends. And so that is a little bit too much for this introduction about Ayurveda, Jennifer, to talk about that now. But I would very much encourage you to connect to me personally to look at that, because that is serious and that needs attention. So I'm sorry, but I can't go into this introduction. That is too much for people who are just getting to know Ayurveda. Okay, any other question coming in? Amy, do you have a question?
I don't.
Oh, Amy doesn't have a question.
Oh, you put me on the spot.
Well, I don't put you on the spot. Nobody can see you, so you can just think about it, yeah?
Okay.
And if you have one, then you can tell me. Okay, thank you. Sorry, guys, I need some time to scroll through the questions. Yeah, so Casper was elaborating and saying that he feels guilt when he is disappointing somebody else. Does this have to do with allowing others to deal with anything that life is throwing on their path and to have peace with that? Yeah, guilt is a big one, eh? Because we never want to disappoint anybody, and the deeper root of that is basically often we just long to be loved. We want everybody to love us. Yeah. But part of that is you don't want to harm anybody else. So you want to practice ahimsa, as we call it in yoga. Do no harm, that means. It's the same thing that any doctor has taken as an oath from Hippocrates. Yeah, that you don't want to do harm. But you neither want to do harm to yourself. So when you're out there and you feel that when you're trying to support somebody else, but it is on a consistent basis causing harm to yourself, then you need to look and say, hold on, what am I doing here? I might have to tweak a little bit here, because the boundary that previously worked in the level of care that I was providing for others and the attention I was giving to others is no longer working. It is starting to harm me. So that is where you have the choice to either to continue to cause harm to yourself and eventually with that also others, because you can't be fully available for them when you're not doing well yourself. Or to make a clear and a loving and a compassionate choice for yourself and explain that in a loving and a compassionate way to somebody else. Yeah, to say, I would love to take care of you, but I just don't have the juice right now. I need to take a break. Yeah, and I've done this regularly, because believe me, I have requests coming in, emails and text messages and messengers through Facebook and you name it, where people try to connect to me day and night with questions about their well-being and where they need support. So there's this continuous boundary that is being tested. Yeah, and we've got all kind of boundaries in our lives. Yeah, that are longing to be healthy and loving. Yeah, so you have a boundary with your clients. You have a boundary with acquaintances. Then there is a closer boundary with friends. Then there is one with your family. Then there is one with your children and your beloved. And then in the inner sanctuary you are, where you have the relationship with yourself. So think of all those boundaries and whether you're continuously being boundless with everybody for whatever reason you're doing that, and how that is serving you and others. Whether it is out of a need for feeling loved, or out of the fear of not being loved, or with the hope that when you do that, that somebody's going to love you back or do something back for you that you want. Yeah? So look at the motivation behind why you're doing that, why you're putting yourself out there all the time. Yeah? So ideally, you're longing within whatever relationship you are, and this is a life work, but you're longing to be neutral. And with neutral, I mean compassionate and loving, not stirred up, with whatever connection there is. And if there is, you need to redefine, how are we doing with our boundaries? Why are we getting stuck, or why are we getting depleted? And how can we use the basic lifestyle rules from Ayurveda to protect us, to guide us, and to nourish us on a daily basis? Yeah? Is that helpful? Another question or comment coming in from Denise. The soul's opinion is that all of life is beautiful, and the ego's opinion is more I can't pronounce this word, but it's, of course, there's no oneness in the ego. Yeah, and yet we need it. Yes, we need the ego to. It's not a dirty word. Often people that are on their spirit path think it's dirty to use the word ego. But we need it. We need our minds, because we need our minds to make appropriate decisions. But from the spiritual point of view, you want to use both your mind and your heart. And you want your mind to rest in the heart, yeah, so that any decision that you're making is supported and is nourished and is carried by the intuition that is coming from your heart. Yeah, that is where the two become one. That is where you can live here instead of here. Yeah, that's where everything becomes inclusive. Compassion, as Casper puts it here, is his main motivation to help others, and that is beautiful. Then the caution that I would give there, and this is the caution that I would give to anybody who's out there serving others, whether that's in a health profession or in a supportive profession, is be aware that you're not getting into a compassionate burnout. And especially those who love to serve others, who are always only thinking of others, are prone to get a compassionate burnout. So even those people need a break. Even though I'm very strong, I need a break now and then. Yeah. So I took a break last 3 days, and I went off the grid, and I took care. Yeah. So maybe I give you just some practical cues as to how Ayurveda can work with you, for you, yeah, in your daily life. Yeah. So Ayurveda is very much about prevention of getting into trouble physically, mentally, or emotionally. So the ways how you can support yourself and how you can nourish yourself on a consistent basis to support you in your lifestyle is by gently redefining all the rhythms of your life. And with all the rhythms, I mean your sleep rhythm, your work rhythm, your time off rhythm, your downtime rhythm, your rhythms to have inspiration and joy to be part of your day, your family rhythm, community, family, friend rhythm, your food rhythm, when you eat, what you eat, and the rhythm of that. So when you look at all those rhythms that we also see out in nature, so we see a rhythm of the sun rising and setting. So during the day, more fire coming up, and then the sun is going down, and there's moonlight, different energy to help you to process, to cool down, yeah, to help you to build your immune system during the night, to help you to restore. So guess what? If you're not sleeping, if there's a lack of sleep, or you're working during the night, that is the time that, according to Eastern medicine, to Ayurveda, where your liver needs to restore, where your immune system needs to restore, where your adrenals need to restore, yeah, which has a great effect on your hormonal balance as a woman, for example. Yeah. So having a regular sleep, going to bed in the evening around 10, yeah, having a ritual that helps you to transition smoothly, to have a time out, to have a pause, so that you can process everything that happened during the day and to transition into that moon time, is very important for health. A second rhythm that is very important is when you eat. Because also in nature you're not going to feed the plants during the night. Yeah? There are certain rhythms for that, to give them nourishment from the soil, or when they're pulling it up from the soil, the plants. So the same for our bodies. Yeah? There's a timing for that. And there's a time needed to process the foods. Yeah? So when you eat regularly and consistently in the same times, the rhythms for taking in energy, because your food is energy that is going to be your body, yeah, they will be absorbed better. They will elevate your energy. Yeah. So even by starting to get a rhythm of eating every day a light or a moderately light breakfast, your largest meal with lunchtime around noon, 1 o'clock, and your dinner no later than 6 or 7 p.m., and again a little bit lighter than your lunch. That is tremendous. That is tremendous. That can shift the whole game. Yeah. So food, your sleep, and then downtime. You can't always be in action. Yeah. So daily carving out time to be with yourself should be on your list. Whenever that is, whenever that works for you in your lifestyle and with your family. Daily, you should carve out time to share with animals, with your neighbors, with your beloved, with your children, with your community. Because that's the clue, remember? Yeah. So those would be a few lifestyle rules that would be at the foundation of Ayurveda that I would like you to look at and to see what is working for me. Where can I start? Yeah. Then with a little link to Ayurvedic yoga therapy. Yeah. Because we're talking about the foundation of the philosophy for Ayurveda, and how does that look then in Ayurvedic yoga therapy? Well, Ayurvedic yoga therapy is gives you tools. So there's a book which my beloved Chinnamasta Stiles wrote, and it gives you tools for your daily lifestyle. We call it therapy. You can call it healing. You can call it whatever you want to call it. It's basically simple tools on a daily basis that will help you to move from feeling that you're only hanging in with your fingernails into thriving. Thriving financially, thriving in the love area, family, children, friends, community, and thriving in serving. Yeah. So tools are could be yogic. So certain breathing exercises that will help you to elevate your energy. Yeah. Another one is to do some gentle movement to make everything smooth. Yeah. So there are certain kind of yoga asanas that are linked together in a dance-like vinyasa, as we call them. And that will help you to get into every nook and cranny of your body, but very gently. And to balance with those specific movements for every dosha, to balance your doshas. Yeah. So that's very supportive, because your body is the vehicle that we need to make strong and full of energy. Yeah. And with a good fire in it. Yeah. And with a good sense of stability in it. And a part of that is also to look consciously at how can I personalize that? So how can I find a lifestyle with everything that you're telling me now that is working for me? Because there is no such thing as a cookie cutter system that works for everybody. Because we all have our unique blueprint that we were born with, as you call it in Ayurveda. And that's called Prakriti. And you want to honor that. So within some tools that are being given, therapeutic tools in the book, you can work, and then you might have to tweak them a little bit so that they work for you. And we call that adapt to your uniqueness. And that brings me back to the beginning, where I was telling you what is the main important question that you want to ask yourself. The main important question you want to ask yourself every day is, who am I and where am I? Who am I? Where am I? How am I doing? Because when you know how you're doing, when you observe that you feel a little bit off, that you're not aligned with who you truly are, how you were born, yeah, and that you rise and shine in the morning, but that you feel grumpy, or that you feel sluggish, or that you feel aggravated, or whatever it is, that you learn by observing that without judgment. How can I tweak? How can I adapt to the circumstances that are now happening today? How can I adjust my lifestyle a little bit more? What should I have for breakfast this morning? Do I have appetite? Or should I only have hot water to start with? Or I've got pain in my body. Maybe I should oil and take a bath with salts in it to nourish my body and to give it a break. Yeah? So that's why that observation is so crucial. So, are there any more questions? Anything, any personal question? Go ahead, I see Betsy that you joined. You can ask me anything. Now's your moment. Let me just take a pause from talking and just let you soak, all of you, in a little song. How about that? So make yourself comfortable. Make sure that you're warm and cozy. You can either sit on the floor cross-legged, or like you see me doing on a chair. Make sure that you feel comfortable, that the body's happy. And close your eyes. And on an exhalation, sigh. Gently moving your head a few times from the left to the right. Inhaling, lifting the shoulders. Exhaling, shoulders backwards and down. Wiggling, adjusting till you feel that your physical body is comfortable. And at any moment while I'm singing, you feel you want to change your body, do that. Soften the face, cheeks and the tongue, eyelids, lips, shoulders. Soften the fingers, the chest, allow your body to unwind. Give it time to unwind. From time to time you might have a sigh coming. Allow yourself to be completely natural and organic. Now slow down your breath to a pace you can easily sustain. And at any time you feel you need to sigh, go ahead. And just listen to this song without the need to understand it, but just to feel it in your heart. Om Shri Ma Namaha Namaha. 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 Put your left hand on your heart, right hand on top of it, and breathe towards your hands with great respect and love. I honor my heart, my inner teacher. Namaste. All my love to all of you. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be free from suffering. thank you for listening, tuning in. Namaste. Thank you, Denise, for inviting me. Have a beautiful weekend.